Okay.
Good morning.
Susan,
Yes.
the video guy told them that this had to be replaced. I didn't know about it. It does not go into the laptop. It looks like somebody rolled over it or stepped on it or something. This.
I can't see what she's talking about.
Well, we can't see her because somebody.
Oh, her camera is on the closet or something.
Yeah, your
It
camera's
must be
not,
this one.
Yeah.
so we can't see your presentation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Are you gonna send it to Erica and let her pull it up?
She's got it already. She's gotta get her laptop, I think.
Well,
Why
you
won't
can,
the camera move?
but you could go ahead and start. Everybody should have the presentation, Kasey.
All right.
So you could just do it without putting it up there.
Okay, you have to.
But why won't the camera move?
I don't know about that. Walk in front of the closet and then we can see you.
No, that's not her. Oh, yeah, it is.
I
Okay.
see you.
Hi. Yeah, she said why.
Yeah, but why won't it?
I guess if we count, probably they move.
Well, the camera ain't got nothing to do with the cord for the laptop.
So
There
y'all
you
just broke
are.
the whole thing, huh?
Yes, so. Y'all want to know how much it costs?
But your hair looks beautiful.
I can move it from that door.
I know.
You know what I'm talking
I know.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we'll chit chat then. In case anybody hasn't heard, I'm leaving District 4.
I heard yesterday.
Any questions?
Why?
Congratulations.
Good
luck, Kasey.
Great.
That's great.
All right, Case, I have the plug in. Can y'all see it?
Hit your presentation button.
Where's my Zoom up?
How about now?
Yeah. But
Okay.
can you pull up VHN also? Just
Yeah.
We'll add maintenance man to your title.
right.
I can hear her.
Yeah, I can't.
With the volume. Down.
You can go to the next slide, Erica. Just skip it. You can go to the next one. The mission is to get through the day. Okay, so on this slide, I basically broke it down into first, like the types of 999 food packages. Now, of course, everybody starts out with the state has created food packages. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I look at the overrides, it's kind of clear that people are not consistently reprinting for food packages either correctly or they're kind of all over the place. So we're just going to kind of review some of this. But, the state creates food packages, and those are packages that the state has put together using certain voucher codes, and, we're able to find them in the procedures manual. Most of them, you can find them in the flip book, and the CPA just assigns that package to the client, something that's already existing. But sometimes what happens is it's impossible for the state, so they say, to have every single possible combination or, dietary needs for every single person that might walk through that door. And so each district is allowed to have a set of 999 food packages that they create. And so the district has a list. At one point, I know Caroline and Kayla worked on it back in the day, and then Jessica Ryan updated it, and it gets updated as the changes occur, like with the milk and things like that. But we have a list of district-created 999s. The state audits them when they come, and the CPAs are allowed to pull from those district-created 999s if the state doesn't already have a package that's put together. There is a list that every CPA will have, and all the sub numbers are in the 900 range. So you've got sub numbers from 900 all the way to 999. And these district created 999s never go in your 999 logbook. They're never documented. You just pull them just like you wouldn't document that you gave somebody a A17 or a CO1. These are basically our district 999s. Then from there, the clinic is allowed to create a 999 if there wasn't a district one that they found and the state didn't have one either. They do have to have managerial approval because we found in the past that people would create a clinic 999 that either the district or the state already had. And so the clinic will decide, okay, this client has this special need. It could be like a mostly I haven't been up to date with those lately, but maybe like a mostly breastfed on NeoSure Preemie. And they might just need like 1 can or something like that. It's something that's special to that client. The clinic decides the client needs that package. It's in either state or district created, like I said. You must have managerial approval. And the sub number will never be in the 900 or the 999 range because those are specifically for our district created. And you're never going to use a sub number of 99. So really anything from 1 to 98 and then 100 to 899, you can pick from those sub numbers. That's where the clerk falls in because you'll help assign the sub number that's not already being used by a client. And then you will have to have those documented in the 999 log. So those are the only 999s that get put in that 999 log. Also, your sub number would never be issued to more than one client at the same time. You could have twins on the exact same special clinic created package, and they would still both have their own sub number. And then the fourth column says a temporary food package change 999. That's when the clinic needs to give the client vouchers as part of a food package change, but only if what you need to give them doesn't already exist as a voucher code in the package that they're going to receive. For example, I want to give you 2 cans of Gerber Soothe because you returned 2 cans of regular Gerber. Well, the Soothe package doesn't have a voucher code of 2 cans already created in it, so that's when you would use that temporary, you would do a 999 sub 99, and then you would put in the voucher code that you need for that food package change. That's the only time you should be using the food package 999 with a sub 99. And you never document those in the log either. That's like a temporary 999 just for food package changes. Oh, I was about to hit enter. Erica? Okay, and then I just wanted to touch on this. I'm noticing that the state ordered, I'm not going to go over that because we just did a whole training on it the first week of February, but just to make it clear, the state orders are your 199 food packages, but your 197s are your out of stock. So the CPA is assigning the food packages normal. They give them A37 today. And then they say, yeah, I've got 9 cans of that here in stock. And so the clerk is going to print the 197. That's the only time you should be printing the 197 is for the out-of-stock formula. And then, I'm choking. You know, oh gosh. It's from running in the cold. The client signs the receipt and they receive that tracking voucher. It doesn't have any cash value. It literally says you got cans out of stock. So they can't use it at the grocery store and get duplicated. Erica, do you have VHN pulled up? Erica.
You were muted. You were muted. Can you hear me? I'm pulling it.
Do you have VHN pulled up?
I'm pulling it up.
And you can just pull up anybody in the voucher screen. The one thing that I've noticed with the 197s is, and I know we talked about this back in like April of last year because it was part of our training from the state audit is when you print the 197, you're going to type over the food package code down where it says CPA. You're not going to type over the voucher code. You're going to put it in as CPA food package, and then the 197, as you tab through, will create itself. And we'll show you here what I'm talking about in just a second. The other thing about the 197 is that if it's like an infant and they also need to get baby food, what you would do is you would print the 197 just for the out of stock, and then you would print like the A37, zero out the formula that you don't need, and let the rest of the baby food print. So you would have to do it as two separate line items. They do not want us to mix the out-of-state 197 with actual benefits that are being used at the grocery store. And just to be clear, I just wanted to show you in the voucher screen exactly where you're going to be typing in the 197. So you can just pull up anybody.
It's not showing VHN.
Is it pulled up on your laptop?
It is. You can only see the back.
I don't know if your function key is the same, but mine is like function, one of the function buttons.
F5?
Maybe. Like function, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Maybe try maybe F8.
I tried that too.
Are you doing the function key with it?
No, of course not. It's not working. Wait.
Oh.
What if I just break this? You can
Just break it. Anyway, we need to do that.
Well, I mean, I guess I can't make it worse. Yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna ruin my laptop for this.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay, well, my entire presentation is a lot of like screenshots. I mean, I could have gone to Carrollton if I knew it was jacked up. I guess let's just go back to the slide then. Does anybody not know what I'm talking about when you print a 197? Like, you don't type it over the voucher code. You type it under the CPA code. Is there anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, and I can email you a screenshot?
I know.
Okay. So I guess we'll just go back to the other slide, Erica.
Give me a second. My computer turned off.
This is... The maintenance guy outside, he said your hill should be fine this afternoon, but he said you need to watch out for the walkway because he treated it, but he said that it's still slippery. So you need to be careful when they come up because they're gonna fall. So I was out there talking to him for a minute about the hill and stuff because, you know, you guys could
It's
get trapped
coming
up here.
another one today. In
Oh,
this
wait a minute. Hey, Eric. Hey, Erica.
Yeah.
I just broke the metal off of this and I got it in. So do you want me to try to?
Go for it.
Go for it.
For the record, because I will be leaving, it was already broken, so don't send me a bill.
It looks like I can pull VHN now. It's me.
It's okay. I got it. It's okay.
All right, I'm gonna.
All right. So yeah, it doesn't look good, but.
Don't know it too much because it's going to leave.
All right. Okay.
Oh, you put projection only. That's why it's screen.
But can you see mine?
No, I'm disconnecting mine though.
Okay. No? Well, I should be able to see it, right? If I can. Well, let's move on to the 4 types of actual food package changes, and then if I have time, I'll go back and try to pull up the 197. There we go. Okay, so basically what I started doing, like with the new hires, is breaking down food packages into 4 different types. So the first one is going to be your out of stock, and that's the 197 that we just talked about. So client returns whatever, it doesn't really matter. They return whatever they return. And the CPA assigns the new food package code and replaces from out of stock. The clerk prints the 197. So it's everything we just talked about. And don't forget to issue your foods or if there's any other additional benefit that didn't come from out of stock. And then the second column, I call it equal for equal. It means that the client returned their entire benefit. So if they received 9 cans on the previous package, and whether in cans or a combination of vouchers or all vouchers, all cans, it doesn't matter. They received 9, they brought back a total of 9. Then all the clerk is doing is just reprinting the same month under the new assigned food packages. There's no thought that goes into that. As long as you verified, they were given 9 and I got a combination of 9 back, or they were issued 10 cans, I got 10 back. It doesn't matter if it's 5 on a voucher code, 4 in cans, it doesn't matter. They're bringing equal in and you're giving equal out. Now, the next one is what I call partial for partial. But what this means is, and I'm just going to use the example of like Gerber Gentle to Gerber Soothe. But the client returns an amount of benefit that is equal to what is offered in the new food package, but not the whole benefit, because obviously if there's a whole benefit, you would just reprint the entire food package change. So this would be like a Soothe package for a 3-month-old, for example. It comes with a combination of vouchers. One is for 5 and one is for 4. So if they brought you back 5 or they brought you back 4, I'm not going to do an equal for equal, and I'm not going to do the temporary 999. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the Soothe print. I'm going to let the A37 print, but I'm going to zero out what voucher code I don't need. So if I know that Soothe has 1 for 5 and 1 for 4, and Mom only brought me back 4, I'm going to let A37 print, and I'm going to zero out the voucher for 5. And we'll try to show some examples in a second here. And then the fourth column is when you would pull from that temporary 999 sub 99. That means the client returns an odd amount of benefit. So maybe they only brought you 2 or 3 cans, and it's not part of a voucher that's in the new food package. So that's when you need to find your voucher code for the amount of benefit that you need. and you will print those food package 999, sub 99, and type in what voucher codes you want. And you only do this from the voucher screen. You don't log it anywhere. You don't go into food packages and set up a 999. Like, you don't do any of that. Let me try to get to VHN so we can maybe show some examples before we go into just a couple notes about initial contact date. So, let's see. Is it still showing? Can you see the VHN also?
Yes.
So I'm just going to just show up some like randoms. I'm not saying things wrong or right. I'm just pulling stuff up. Okay. So like this particular child went from regular Gerber, the A17, and then they went to soy, which is the A27, if you look down here. Now you'll see that the entire benefit for November was voided. They voided both vouchers, the GO5 and the GO4. So there was no thought that went into that, if you follow my arrow. They just went in and put the same date range, let the A27 print. There was no thought process to that. But let's say, for example, they brought you back the GO5, but they used the GO4. Then I would only be able to give them the GO5, which is 5 cans. So what I could do is I could come over here to food packages and I could look at the A27 food package and say, well, hey, is that N41 or that N40 that they're gonna get, do one of those vouchers, is it for 5 cans? Because if it is, I'll just let the A27 print. So what I can do is come over here to food packages. And you have to be careful because, you know, infants, their internal food package changes. So the A27 is your 0 to 3, and if you just follow my arrow, the B27 is your 4 to 5 month olds, and then the D27 is my 6 month olds. So for this particular child who is from 0 to 3 months at the time of the food package change, my internal package was the A27 as well, and you'll notice that the N41 is for 5 cans, the N40 is for 4 cans. So if what Mama brought me back was the voucher or 5 cans, then what I would have done is I could have done like this. Whoops. I would have said, yeah, I want that I need another baby. Well, let's just use today's date, whatever.
24.
It's gonna be, it's not, hold on. Let's just go with February, but just ignore the fact that because it's going to try to give you the internal package for a 6 month old at this point, so just ignore that. But what it would have been, it would have said A27, and then it would have tried to give me an N41 and N40, but I don't want to print that because now I've overissued. So what I would do is I already figured out that the N41 was for 5 cans, and that's what the mama brought me back, right? Or did she bring me back 4? She brought me back 4. So I would let the N41 print, and then I could go ahead and zero out the voucher that I don't want and let the rest of it print. So I'm not doing a 999. I'm just zeroing out what I don't want. And then, you know, anytime you do a food package, you technically should put the reason F. Another example is that I had used was, let's say that she received 10 cans, which is what she got actually in February. She received 10 cans, 5 and 5, but she only brought you 3 cans back. Well, I can't reprint the actual A27 because it's not in a combination. It's for 5 and 5 for this particular month. It's not for 3 or something like that. So that's when, if I take a look at food packages, I need a voucher code for 3 cans. So a lot of times the 6 month old's package is in combinations of 4 and 3, not all the time, but a lot of the time. And so what I'll do kind of as a shortcut is go ahead and look at the 6-month-old's package to see if that odd number of cans that I need is already set up as a voucher code. So you see here, I have that voucher code for 4, but I don't want that, I want 3. So I have here an N55 for 3 cans. So I'm going to use that. But because the food package that she's on right now is not for 3 cans, then what I would have done, hold on. Go back. Is I would do my 999 sub 99 because that's a temporary food package. And a lot of your clinics are going to automatically pop up something else in there, but that doesn't matter. It was just set up that way to begin with. And so what I could do is put in my N55, zero out whatever wasn't supposed to be there. And then when it prints, it's going to print me just those 3 cans that I needed. Now, let's say I only needed 1 can or 2 cans, then I might need to go to the flip book or the procedures manual to find that voucher code. All right. And then the other example that I was going to show you is, like, let's say for February, you were going to give her a 197 out of stock. Can't even see that far. This is here where you would type it over. So you're at the CPA, you put in a 197, and as you tab through, it creates the 197 for you. So what I've been seeing is people will like leave it as an A27 and then they'll type over the voucher code, and that's not what you want to do. Okay, do we have any questions up to that point? Because if not, I'm just going to go over a couple examples on initial contact date. Questions up to that point? Okay, so for initial contact date, I just want to be clear. If the client is new or it's a new pregnancy, and I always use the example, doesn't matter if she's on her 10th child on WIC, it's still a new pregnancy, then your initial contact date and your initial contact type is always going to be when and how the appointment was made. So you'd be looking at your appointment screen or your red light, and it's going to tell you when the appointment was made and how. Like, you could tell by the initials if it was call center or somebody within your own clinic, which would have been a walk-in. Your exception, because everything in WIC has an exception, is pregnancies. So mom, if she's still in her valid 6-month postpartum certification when she comes in with a new pregnancy, then there has been no break in service. And so she actually, because there's no break in service, the initial contact date would have remained the same from the previous pregnancy. But that's an exception, and don't laugh because I've done this twice, where at 4 months old I was pregnant again. So it does happen, and you would just be aware of if her previous infant is under 6 months or not. And then, of course, there's another exception to that. If she was in as a breastfeeder, then technically her certification period would have been for a year, and so then the initial contact date wouldn't change either. Transfers, because somebody asked me a really good question the other day. On transfers, most of the time your VOCs don't give you the true initial contact date for that certification that they did. And so, what's that little thing right there? Why won't that go away? I don't know. That little, ignore that little box, I don't know what that is. So if they transfer and they're in a good cert, you can't put today's date as the initial contact date because your initial contact date should never be after the date of the cert. And so obviously if they're transferring in a good cert, there's no break in service there. And so you're going to use the date of the cert as their initial contact date because you don't have it from the VOC. Okay, now your existing clients, we'll go back to that in just a second. Halves and mids, pretty simple. If you're doing a half cert or mid cert, that should mean that your client is in a good cert because halves and mids aren't done if you're not in a good cert, which would tell me obviously there's no break in service, so you shouldn't even be looking at the initial contact date. You're just going to tap right past it. So I think where the confusion comes in, all of those so far are pretty easy. Where the confusion I think people have is break in service versus no break in service. And basically, a break in service means the certification that they were in has expired, even if it's by a day. So if I have a 1-year-old and they turned 1 over the weekend and they come in today to do their 1-year-old certification, that's fine. They're not missing out on vouchers or anything, but that's technically a break in service, and so you would just change the initial contact date to today's date. The reason you don't want to, in most cases, make that initial contact date when that appointment was made is because if we made that appointment 3 months ago, based on their pickup code, you don't ever want to have an initial contact date on a child that's 3 months old. And then there's no break. If there is no break in service, then you'll just tab right past the initial contact date. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple. I'm just going to call on people. And I've been telling the newbies, and I can't remember, I usually like to give people credit, but somebody a while ago said, well, the best way, because it was confusing in Wix 1 through 4 for them, and they said, well, I just go to the voucher screen. And so I've been telling the new people now, just go to the voucher screen. Before you do that recertification, go to the voucher screen, and the voucher screen is always going to tell you right there in red. If the date is behind you, then there's a break. That day's passed. If the date is in front of you or same day, that's not a break yet. So we're just going to go through a couple. And Rebecca, I'll just start with you. So these are actual people that are scheduled to come in today. So if Savannah comes into your clinic today, why is she coming in today? This is why I can't stop auditing.
If she's scheduled
She
to
should
come
not
in
be
today,
coming in
she
today.
doesn't have
You guys
a break
might
in
want to look at that in
service.
Coweta.
She's going to turn into years old.
She doesn't restart till next month. Let's not look at that one.
Okay.
Into mine.
This. And everybody that's been training with me lately, you'll notice I go to pull something up to show somebody the example of something, and all I'm showing is examples of what not to do. And it's a little crazy.
Confusing.
Okay, so Caden Walker is supposed to come in for a recertification today. So we'll start with Rebecca and Bud. So if he comes in today, is his initial contact date going to change or stay the same?
Stay the same.
Stay the same, right? Because right here, this date hasn't passed. He actually doesn't turn a year until the 26th. Today's the 24th. Stays the same. You're just going to skip right past it. All right. The next one is going to be for Carrollton. And this is a mom and baby appointment. Ooh, not a mom and baby appointment. Let's see. A whole bunch of babies and their moms. Hold on. Okay, so this is a mom and baby appointment. And so mom comes in with her baby. So clearly if she has a newborn, the appointment is going to be for the newborn when the appointment was made. But for Carrollton, what's mom's initial contact date going to be? Is it going to be changed or is it going to stay the same?
It'll stay the same.
All right. And the thing, I think when I'm auditing, the ones I see are the worst is the mom and babies when they come in for the postpartum. You have to look and see when her due date was, because a pregnancy is in a good cert for how many weeks postpartum, Marjorie?
6.
6 weeks after her due date. So if she comes in after her baby's born and it's within 6 weeks of her due date, then that initial contact date shouldn't be changing. So mom and baby are going to have 2 different initial contact dates. Okay, the next one is going to be for Coweta. This child comes in today to recertify. What happens to the initial contact date?
It changes.
Right. And you're going to make it what day?
Today's date.
All right, next one is for Fayette. Initial contact date changes or stays the same?
I can't see the date on there. It's kind of blurry.
Is it still focusing?
Oh, there we go. It's gonna change to today's date.
Right, because this date is already passed.
Yeah.
This child comes in today. This one is for Troop. The initial contact date changes or stays the same?
No, keep the same.
Troop?
Stays the same. What? Stays the same.
Right. So it expires today, but it's not a break until tomorrow. So that's correct. It stays the same. So basically, let's do just maybe a couple more. This is a prenatal who comes in today. Is the initial contact date going to change or stay the same? She's actually pregnant again. Don't laugh at her when she comes in. It's okay. She's coming in today for a pregnancy. It's an actual appointment on the schedule today for pregnancy. Does her initial contact date change or stay the same? And this one is going to be for Henry.
Same. Will be the same.
Why?
Because she was pregnant before.
Right.
She's pregnant again and she had a little baby.
Okay, so basically what I'm showing you is if you just look at the voucher screen and just take that second to look at the voucher screen, it's going to be right there in your face in red. It's so simple that way. You will never mess up initial contact date if you just do it this way. And everybody, I guarantee you, messes up initial contact date at some point or the other. I've done enough audits.
Kasey.
I know.
Kasey, it's okay. It's okay, Kasey.
Kasey.
It's okay.
I said I wasn't going to do this.
I know, but it's okay.
I think you get my
We love
point on
you,
initial
darling.
contact date. I just want you guys to know that I love all of you.
We love you too, Kasey. It's okay.
We love you, Kasey.
It's good. God is good, Kasey. We love you.
This will probably be my last training Tuesday just because I would really like to, if anybody would like to do a training Tuesday, just because that'll be my last week, and I know I'm going to have a lot to get, finished and together. If you're interested in doing a training for me, I would really appreciate it. You can just send me an email. That would be for March the 10th. My last day is the 13th. And I started the WIC office on the 16th at the state office. I've always wanted to work at the state WIC office, but I would never leave District 4 unless it was worth it. And I hope it's worth it. I really do love District 4, and I want you guys to know, I was just a WIC clerk in a clinic, and I know that I'm a good clerk, but you guys, I just see so much where there's no teamwork, there's no caring, y'all are, bickering and bantering with each other, and, oh, what's she doing, what's she not doing, and you have to be a team with your CPAs as well. I was telling Carol the other, I would never have been the clerk that I was without the CPA that I had, and she's not with District 4 either, but District 4 gave us our beginnings, and I'm appreciative for it. I'm appreciative. You guys have taught me so much in this position, how to try to be better. I'm not perfect. I know some of you joke that you think that I am. I know I'm not perfect, and I just really appreciate everything that you guys have taught me. And I'm gonna miss you guys. Some of you more than others. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I mean, I know that I feel the love when I come out to your clinics, and I'm probably not going to be able to get to see everybody that I would like to before I leave. I just want you to know I'm not gone. I'm just going to the state office.
What is that?
Good luck,
Kasey,
Kasey.
we're all really proud of you.
Yeah. We're proud,
thank
Kasey. Good
you.
luck.
Thank you,
Don't
Kasey,
forget
for
about
all
the
your
clients,
help.
because that's why we're here. I've been a client. When Wick gave me a job, I was divorced. I had 2 kids. I really didn't know how I was going to feed them. And Wick gave me a job, and these are the types of moms that we work with every day, and that's why we're here. We're not here to see how many vouchers did you print, how many intakes did you do. Oh, I did 5. How many? Oh, you only did half certs. That's not why we're here. And you guys know who you are that I'm talking about, and it's ridiculous. Don't make your coworkers miserable. We're here for the clients. That's who we serve. That is our purpose. And that is what we should be focused on. And District 4 has always been with the state. I'm already from the state is telling me, you come from District 4, you come from one of the best districts in the state, and we can't afford to lose that. We deserve to be the best in the state, and we have been, and we need to remain and try to do that. And I just hope you guys, whoever does this when I leave, that you aren't too hard on them, because some of you were rough on me when I took Brenda's position. So, I love you guys, and hopefully I'll be able to see you on a VIX or something down the road.
Congratulations, Kasey. Just remember, you were good at what you did. And we're going to miss
Thanks,
you.
sugar.
And remember, we appreciate everything you've done for us. So good luck. We know that you will do well.
Thank you. All right, I'm getting off. So good luck, everybody.